Hypothalamus Artificial Intelligence, HI. Digital transformation powered by real-time autonomous and intelligent algorithms. Presents the short conference, Artificial Brains, a new way of thinking about mathematics, which will change the world as we know it. Enrique Krauze, in the prologue of Cyber Leviathan, wrote, "Artificial intelligence is restructuring human life in unimaginable ways. With it, certain occupations in which we consider human intellectual and emotional capacity indispensable will end up becoming extinct, replaced by incredibly complex systems capable of emulating it. This makes our situation very different from that of 2 centuries ago. This time the machine will be able to completely replace the human being with his physical and cognitive abilities, and with this he could inevitably deprive a very high percentage of the population of work experience, which has been an essential element in human identity." Conference prepared and edited by Jesus Velasquez Bermudez. His resume may be found on LinkedIn. Engineer Jesus Velasquez Bermudez wants to make it clear that his knowledge in neuroscience is very limited, and that therefore inaccuracies can be found in some concepts of this presentations. Its knowledge comes from the serious study of many scientific works of experts in the field, which have helped to visualize what is presented here. On the other hand, it is also made clear that Engineer Velasquez Bermudez is not an advanced expert in traditional artificial neural networks. He understands them properly. The vision that prevails is that of a mathematical modeler, with extensive knowledge of the appropriate mathematics to perform this work. Artificial Brains. Part 1, Past and Present. In the short term, one of the great disruptions in artificial intelligence, AI, is artificial brains, which are based on conversations between algorithms, as a team, to carry out a set of common tasks, optimally and autonomously. Conversations between algorithms supported in a common and standardized language, based on formal mathematical laws. Traditional AI, ANN, ML, will migrate towards decision-making artificial intelligence, aimed at optimal, autonomous, distributed, and real-time decision-making, supported by universal mathematical laws, abandoning decisions based on intuition and empirical knowledge, and predictive AI. This new revolution, a consequence of Industry 4.0, will be taught by knowledge-intensive companies, and will be widely used in industry that requires complex mathematical models, solved by autonomous swarms of mini-models, algorithms, acting as a team, on multiple computers making use of edge computing, cloud computing, and IoT, and some of the main topics of this methodology for looking at the new world of AI are: artificial cortex based on mathematical superneurons, neural mathematics nets, artificial hippocampus, which will store the history of all mathematical processes, and select short memory, based on traditional neural networks. Artificial hypothalamus, an algorithm, generated by an AI, that acts as a control center that understands all the connectivity of the mathematical neurons that make up the artificial cortex, and selects information from the artificial hippocampus, to solve the problem in reference, and universal language for cognitive robots based on algebra, and the mathematical laws of simultaneous equations and optimization. Artificial brains will replace the current human-commanded decision support systems, SSDs, with autonomous SSDs, commanded by artificial intelligences. This will happen first in large corporations, all the way to small and medium enterprises, SMEs, through artificial brains rented in the cloud, mathematical model as a service, MOS, and for some human activities. Since 2009, artificial brains have been the main area of research and technological development plus innovation, RAN plus I, at Hypothalamus Artificial Intelligence Incorporated, when an artificial brain was inadvertently implemented for an oil company in Latam. Interested parties can consult the following white papers: Artificial Brains, Augmented Artificial Intelligence, Artificial Neocortex plus Artificial Hypothalamus plus Artificial Hippocampus, March 23, 2022. Artificial Hypothalamus, Artificial Intelligence and Mathematical Programming Integration. Artificial Brains. Part 2, The Future is Now. OpTex, Optimization Expert Systems, is oriented to the decision-making artificial intelligence methodologies and technologies, that make mathematical models as Lego models. Optex was created in 1991. Optex is a generative artificial intelligence focused on the design, implementation, startup, and maintenance of artificial brains, based on high-complexity mathematical models. The way the mathematical modeler communicates with Optex is through a standardized database, a unique data model for all mathematical problems or subproblems. This method is called structured mathematical modeling. It also allows to perform high-level operations between models, such as joining or splitting them, and implementing multi-problem solutions, according to large-scale optimization technologies, or using multi-problem procedures, such as constructing optimal numerical functions. Following the principles of generative pre-trained transformer AI, Optex GPT will be the mathematical modeling advisor that helps mathematical modelers and professional users when they require solutions in line with today's cutting-edge technology. In the development and maintenance of high-complexity mathematical programming, Optex avoids the intensive use of resources for programming computers. It generates perfect source code for the entire IT platform, including algorithms and visual interface, eliminating programming tasks. This is the dream of many of the companies working for GTP. Making very large-scale models in the traditional way, using a computer programmer, is an impossible way, because the programmer can only write a limited number of lines of good source code per period. Maintaining these models can be more complicated than doing them, if more than one programmer intervenes in the process. Optex can produce infinite lines of perfect source code in seconds. This is what it takes to produce an artificial brain. Optex's standardization, while limiting the modeler in the creative development of its programs, allows Optex to be the artificial intelligence that generates all the programming components necessary to implement an artificial brain. To do this, Optex generates the artificial hypothalamus algorithm, which is used as a mathematical language between robots, based on the duality theory, which allows to solve multiple problems, under a scheme that we can call autonomous real-time distributed optimization, similar to how the human hypothalamus operates. Builds the structure of an artificial cortex, based on the mathematical principles of large-scale optimization, and manages an artificial hippocampus, using neural nets applied to select the part of the memory, to use for warm start in the solution of a problem. Optex does not require the design of a large language model, LLM, as mathematics is the only language that all humans share. Can HI and Optex help mathematical modelers? The R+D project focuses on enabling professionals, who are not experts in mathematical modeling, to build highly complex mathematical models, using the mathematical models stored in an Optex expert system. To do this, GPT methodologies will be used, so that the development of a model can be carried out through a chat, and later through a conversation. Optex GPT will become a cloud platform, by incorporating public models into the database, which will ultimately turn Optex GPT into a service for companies and professionals who want to implement mathematical models on the fly. The index contains the topics considered at the conference. Finally, there are now in the world machines that think, that learn, and that create. Moreover, their ability to do these things is going to increase rapidly until, in the visible future, the range of problems they can handle will be coextensive with the range to which the human mind has been applied. In 1972. In the book Human Problem Solving, wrote by Alan Newell and Herbert Simon. Thank you very much for your attention.